can't get enough of Carrie today. We had her private call this morning. I just saw her in what I just dropped inside Detached. If you guys are not in there, you need to go check it out. It's our 3-day masterclass. It's crazy, so good. Just dropped our Human Design program. Go check it out. Hello, Courtney, Lindsay, Vanessa, hello, Amy. Hi. Oh my gosh, you guys, there's just something about this group. Thank you. There's something about you guys where I just like come in here and I just feel all your sacral energy. I feel it. I love it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for today. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling with our work so far? How are you feeling with things? What's coming up for you? So the thing about our work is that there's always unsexy work to be doing, right? There's always something to be tapping into where you're like, damn it, I didn't want to go there. I was like really suppressing that, really avoiding that, really trying not to go there. And I hope that I made you go there because you need to go there. Because when you do, you step into this new energy within yourself, this new availability of your magnetism. It's freedom, right? The more we work through it, the freer we are. Hello, Charlotte. Crystal, thank you, Crystal, for being so incredible in the group and getting to know everybody so well. Lori, hello. All right, you guys, today we're talking about magnetism and belief. Jillian, so happy to be here. Me too. My unsexy work is detaching from caring about how I'm perceived. It's really what's holding me back the most. Ooh, this is huge. This is definitely going to help today and bring in that awareness of like having fun with it, moving forward with who you really are. So we're going to be talking about authenticity. We hear authenticity a lot. We've heard it a lot for a long time now, right? And it's definitely a buzzword within our industry. It's a buzzword within energetic work. It's a buzzword within spiritual awakening. Authenticity. Now, when we're younger, we're taught to be authentic. We probably were not taught that word when we were little, but we're taught to be authentic, right? And we're taught to be authentic until we hit a certain age. I was actually listening to something the other day of the criticalness of years 0 to 4 age, right? Where it's really, we're empowered to be our authentic selves. And the more that we can be free and wild, like we talked about before, the more we are able to really develop into our fullest selves. But what happens is it's kind of like a trick for us when we're younger, right? We're taught to do that and then we're taught not to. We talked a little bit about that last week. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. So authenticity for you guys is all about that boldness. We are here to make your summer bold and hot and fiery because that's exactly your authentic energy. That's who you are and what you're designed to be and how you're designed to be showing up in this world. We talked about how that looks different for every single person. Every single sacral, every single MG or G looks different. For some, it is loud and it's big and it's really being out there. For others, it's quiet and it's to the side. But your energy is big regardless of how you're showing up. Your energy is fiery no matter what because you have that sacral. Courtney, my unsexy work is figuring out why I cannot express certain emotions. I've always done it. Even my mom said as a smile child, I would rather die than let anybody see me cry. I absolutely cannot figure out where or why that started. Oh my goodness. Well, that's definitely protection, right? You're protecting your vulnerability. You're protecting your heart. You're protecting letting people see this aspect of you. Did you need to grow up to be strong? Did you feel, where were you in your sibling, your birth order? Did you feel like you needed to prove that to somebody? You needed to protect your heart? I'm wondering, I'm like seeing your whole, I'm like wondering what your whole chart so I can see. So our authenticity, we began to mask it as we got older because we realized, oh, it's not okay to be different. I'm not supposed to be different. I should be fitting into this box. However, this lack of authenticity, the suppression of authenticity has led you to not being able to understand why you're holding yourself back, why you can't feel as happy as you desire to be, why it's difficult, why you're facing resistance, why you're carrying shame. We can't figure out why, but really it's the process of becoming our most authentic selves. I'm the baby of both of my family and of all my cousins, and I'm also the only girl. Okay, I'm wondering if it's some aspect of masculinity that you're needing to carry, some saving, some needing to be strengths, and maybe the lack of I don't know your whole dynamic, but maybe you weren't shown to what it means to be strong and vulnerable at the same time. So the mask that we're wearing, right, we need to take it off. We need to strip off this mask. We need to allow ourselves to be fully seen as our most authentic selves. When we're working on creating magnetism and creating this effortlessness where people just come to you, they show up and they're like, I love your energy, I want in your world. We're creating this magnetism from our internal power that we worked on last time, from the power that we hold within ourselves. We're pushing magnetism out and it becomes effortless. But we need to understand that in order to be magnetic, we have to be ourselves. We have to stand out. We have to be different than other people. The beautiful thing about you guys is that naturally, that's how you're born to be. You're born to stand out. You're born to be, the person that people are attracted to. You're born to pull people in. Your magnetism is a natural gift that you were gifted that is strong, that is something bigger. My natural magnetism is very different than it is for Manny, Jen, or a Jen. Your magnetism is literally like pull people in like a magnet. You're here to be a magnet. That's what you do. You draw in opportunities. You draw in people. You draw in your audience. You draw in sales. That's what you do. Now, in order to do that, you have to show up as your most magnetic self. You have to elevate your willingness to be bold. You have to elevate your opportunities for boldness to be visible and seen. And that comes from you. That comes from your desire. That comes from your pleasure. That comes from your power. That comes from your own leadership of yourself. What happens is MGs and Gs often look outside of how can I be leading other people when they just need to be lit up by what they're doing, right? Who they're being and what they're doing. And from then, natural magnetism is pouring out of you guys. So in our authenticity, we have to get very clear on where you're wearing your mask and what you're ready to rip off. In our evolution, for you guys specifically, you're going to rip off mask after mask after mask after mask. And it just allows you to see your bare face, your full face, your most authentic being. But until then, you've learned to cover all of that with masks. Now, these masks become very safe for you. They become very safe because they've taught you how to fit in. They've taught you how to fit in when you are meant to stand out. They've taught you how to be good when you are meant to be wild. They have taught you how to make sure everyone around you is good. They have taught you safety. They have taught you all of the things that are actually not natural for you. So these have been coping mechanisms. They have been learned behaviors. They have been things that others have wanted you to do in order to be a quote unquote responsible adult, right? So these masks have probably also allowed you to not be as vulnerable as you really are. So when we go back, we touched on this last week too, but this happens in friendships, right? I want you to be super vulnerable and honest here if you feel safe to do that. But who here has, Rachel is so good. Who here has been bullied in their life? Who here has been left out from the girls? Who here has been like, I have more guy friends than girlfriends, and given themselves a badge of honor for that? Who has felt that they didn't fit in or didn't belong because they were too loud or too pretty or too strong or too bossy or too powerful or too good at things or too smart or too flirty to fit in with the rest of the girls? Who has been bullied because of who they are? You have been outcasted from your friends, right? From unity, from fitting in. So you've put on masks over and over and over and over again. You've put on masks to protect yourself, to fit in, to stay small. And from there, you've learned success because it worked. You developed friendships. People liked you. They didn't get mad at you. They didn't call you names. It worked. The other side of that was being your most authentic self and lonely and feeling sad and feeling misunderstood and feeling uncertain and why it's wrong to be you. Yes. Oh, so beautiful. The truth is, I don't make things happen. I magnetize them from being who I am. Yes, conditioned you not to be, taught you how to be good when you're meant to be wild. I realized and affirmed back to me in HD book that my deepest fear is that if I didn't make something happen, it won't. My inability to express my full self as a healer shunned, thought I was going to be weird. Yes. So this protection of identity. You decided to become a different identity in order to fit in order to be seen, in order to be accepted. And now the work that you're doing in the world is requiring you, in order for alignment and ease and success and wealth and impact, you to be your most authentic self. And it sounds so easy, but there are so many layers of masks to peel off. When we look at all of the identities you've become in your lifetime to fit in, to do right by your family, your friends, whoever, your teachers, your coaches, you're going to quickly realize that you have so many layers on. So many layers. And for some of you, you may even be unclear of like, what is underneath there? What is underneath? For some of you, you may be like, I don't know if I have any masks on. I'm not sure, because your awareness and your willingness to go there, you haven't taken one off yet. So when you start to peel one off, freedom starts to be felt. Boldness comes out. And when that starts to come out, the triggers come up. Will they accept me? Will they like me? Will they pay me? Will I have people in my program? Will I be part of a group? Will my family not like me for what I'm doing and saying? Will I have access to the things that I know already? When we peel them off, we allow ourselves to be seen in the boldness, the wildness, the authenticity, the magnetism. But our fears and our triggers come back. And sometimes they're heightened because we're so willing to go there. And it feels so good. And it feels like you're going to sacrifice a whole lot of what you've worked and put masks on for your entire life. You're like, what did I do all of that for? Because now it's all happening again. It's all happening again. But on the other side of this is pure magnetism. Pure magnetism. Your ability to draw in the right people, your people, the ones that get you, the ones that have been asking for this, the ones that have been seeking you, are able to find you. They find you because they can see you. They can see your face. They don't see the masks anymore because they don't identify with the masks. They don't resonate with the masks. They resonate with your face, your identity, your truth, your boldness, your realness. And it's hard to let yourself do that because that vulnerability and that truth and those fears of those triggers are coming up, right? What we get to decide in alignment is I align with who I am and I trust my process. I trust that the right people will find me. I trust that my magnetism is pulling those people in. I trust my happiness and my joy is here. It's actually quite easy for you guys in a sense, because all you need to do is say, well, does this make me happy? They're like, yes, it does. We go with the happiness. We have to learn how to drop the how, which is the hardest part. How will it make me happy? Well, I'm not really happy, but this part over here sucks. But do I want to drop this and go here? No. It's very clear that's a no. So you're in the yeses, but you're fixated on the how. How is that going to work? How are they going to love me? How will I have friends? How will people see me? How will people, how will I build this massive impact? How? So you don't get stuck in the truth. You get stuck in the next step. Right? You get stuck in the next step. So what this takes us to is belief. belief. And this is a huge aspect of what we need to understand. So who in your life goes down the house have you needed belief from that did not believe in you? Was it your mom, your dad, your peers, your best friend, partner? The most impactful in your life where you're like, I didn't do the thing because they didn't believe in me. Or I did the thing and I had no support. They literally turned their back on me. My mom. My only true goal right now is to be more of myself and less of my programming, so the energy can be more consistent and build momentum. That's huge. My mom, yes. I even hear my voice change when I wear a mask. It is more monotone. I feel like a mask has been to mute my excitement because people thought that my excitement and ambition were too much. So to not be misunderstood, I started to make myself comfortable and conform to the traditional or more mundane. That's it, right? You're too big. You're too much. You want too much. You have too big of goals. You're too bossy. You're too fast. You change your mind too much. All of it. So you wear a mask and put the mask on. Fine. I'll work at the bank. Fine. I'll talk this way so that you're comfortable with me, right? All of these masks are literally suppressing your magnetism. You have zero of it when you're wearing a mask. I want you to literally envision your face and be like, my face is the magnetism. When I have a mask on, I can't be magnetic because that magnetic field is not working. The universe doesn't recognize me. You're not recognized when you're wearing the mask. My partner and extended family, my mom is my biggest fan, but her own limiting beliefs caused me to doubt myself. Yes, that's huge. My dad supported me as long as I acted his way. And that's the manipulation. That's where we learned the mask, right? Oh, I can have the love and support if. Not always. If. I will love and support you unconditionally if. We have been so caught up and so conditioned to believe that unconditional love is checking the boxes, is fitting the standard, the expectation, not you will be your most authentic self and you will receive all that you're meant to receive. So we need to go back to the belief. First of all, we need to allow ourselves to feel into who that person was for us, who those people have been for us, whether it's now, whether it's in the past, whether it's a moment in time, whether it's ongoing. And we need to really see them for their own conditioning. And we need to accept and love that their beliefs are not what you need to grow anymore. Their beliefs are beliefs that keep you inauthentic. We need to know that for you guys, belief is everything. Belief in yourself is everything. If I tell you, if I work with any of you, and I'm like, listen, Rocky, I believe in you. You've got this. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. I hold every ounce of belief in you. And I know you can do it. I'm here to support you in the moments that you don't believe in yourself. And until then, I'm believing in every single ounce of you. You're like, okay. This is what happens for many gens and gens, is that the belief behind them is what they're responding to. So for you guys, you're responding to disbelief, misbelief, not true, authentic belief, masked belief. And you're responding to that. You're like, right? You can't go out and do the things that you dream of because you're responding to that belief. You're responding. If somebody believes in you bigger than you believe in yourself, you can go do anything. You're truly limitless. But it's these thought patterns of disbelief or masking the beliefs of your true authentic self that holds you in this pattern, holds you in the repetition. Because you're like, It doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel like my truth. You're responding to something that's low vibration, low frequency, right? That's where I cut off my own energy. Yes, yes, yes. I know, it's crazy. This is all so crazy, but it's true, right? This is it. This is it. This is where I'm talking about the simplicity for you guys. It's actually so simple. It's actually so simple. There are these aspects of you guys where we just blow up. We literally go in and we blow up, and you're free. The hard part is allowing yourself and going there, yes, the disbelief playing in the background. Exactly. It's constantly going. So we have to go in and be like, all right, I set you free. I see what this pattern is. I see where I'm seeking and desiring belief. I'm not going to find it from you. For you guys, again, things are so point blank. It is so black and white. So guess what? You're not getting it from your dad? Perfect. Let's go find it elsewhere. You go hire the mentor. You go hire the coach. You go find you go talk to your best friend. You dive into your partner's belief. Your world blows up. You become magnetic. You talk to your mom, whoever it is, right? But when you continue to seek the validation, this is again what we've been talking about in detach, the codependency on the needing the belief from the person who doesn't believe in you, the person who is providing you yet another mask to wear, you repeat the cycle. So it's an there. Let's go over here. We go find the belief. We go seek the belief. The belief finds us, and we go in. We go into it. We lean into it, and we lean away from the non-believers. Now, that doesn't mean that you break relationships, you end things. I'm not saying that at all. I'm here for building the most beautiful life and relationships. But it means you don't go looking for belief there. Okay? You seek belief where it feels good for those people to believe in you, where you are receiving a layer being peeled off, not one being put on. This just hit me deep. So true. Oh, believe in you. My life not. I'm getting there. Other areas of my life not. Yes. And it's a process. It is a process because it's difficult to detach, right? It is difficult to break the codependency. It is difficult because you've been in these patterns for so long. This is why we call it a sexy work, because it's not a sexy process. This is the stuff though. But when you get through it, magnetism, authenticity, huge, right? Huge. I'm completely magnetic offline for years now, but the work has been done. But the work has to be done again, and I'm getting online, getting in my comfort zone. Yes, and as we go into these new layers and elevations of ourselves and new layers of boldness, we're ripping off a new mask, right? And that's why we go back to it. It's like, oh, this is uncomfortable here. It's becoming funny because I don't seek belief from others. It's my own thoughts that trip me up. And that is very, very common too, because your own thoughts are programmed with other people's thoughts and beliefs about you, right? So it's like, I can't even believe myself because I'm so confused. All I hear are my codes of what other people believed about me. What's my long-term value, buddy? Yes. Yes. Okay. So as we go through this, we have to understand that as our belief within ourselves grows, as we believe in ourselves, and as we're responding to other people's beliefs around us, we grow and expand and become wildly, wildly magnetic. So with that, I want you to begin to declare. Okay, so to begin to declare, first of all, you're going to be in your homework. You're going to be, where are you still wearing the mask? What layers of your life are you wearing the mask? I want you to very, very, very clearly identify the mask or masks that you are wearing and what areas of your life they show up. Do they show up in business? Online? Do they show up in your relationship? Do they show up, at your workplace? Do they show up at your in-laws? Do they show up with your mom? Do they show up with your sister? Do they show up, whatever, with your kids? What masks are you wearing? And where are they showing up? Where are you wearing the masks? If you want, you can talk about where you have already ripped off the mask, where you're like, yes, this is me. I am bold. I am me in this area. However, I don't go here. So when we can look at these subcategories, right, where we can be like, okay, I'm so authentic with my girlfriends. That is me. That is me. That is 110% me. I am free. I am bold. I am wild. I'm authentic. And then when I come home to my partner, I'm like, wah, wah, wah. So notice the difference. Why? Because I feel like I can't be myself. I feel like I'm too loud. I put on a mask in order to please him. I shut down my dreams and my desires because he doesn't believe in them. Look for where there's not the belief. Your friends, they believe in you. You could tell them you're going to go be the president. They're like, go girl, you get it. You do you, right? Your girls are like, I gotcha. I got you. Do you. That's what we're looking for. That's what you're responding to. You're like, you're right. You're right. Have you ever been with your girlfriends and they're like, you're like, throw it at an idea and they bring it back to you. They're like, oh my God, you need to do this. Like, are you crazy? Go. And you're like, you're right. Right? They believe in you. So you think you can go do anything because you can. So you have to be aware of where that's happening and why that's happening. Okay. So next part, so where are you wearing the mask? So next is leaders. So we are all leaders here. Each and every one of you are leaders. You are leaders in any area of your life. You are leaders of yourself. You are leaders of your soul. You are leaders in your own alignment. So as leaders, we go first. You go first. I go first. I go first in my world. You go first in your world. What are you declaring you will express? What mask are you taking off? What expression are you ready to own? We've talked about this a lot. We are drilling it into you guys because you end up going at hyperspeed once you get it and believe it. So as leaders, you go first. What are you declaring you will express? Is it sexiness? Is it boldness? Is it wildness? Is it power? Is it truth? Is it magnetism? Is it, your woo-woo side? Is it your sporty side? What are you ready to express that you have been suppressing and wearing a mask over? You're taking off the mask. You are expressing it. Not all of my friends. I wear the old mask around certain friends as they don't relate. Yes, totally, Charlotte. Yes, I get that too. And so I'm so ready to own my ability to flow with what is happening instead of doubting the path and stagnating my own energy. Yes. As you said, as I typed it, yes, my fullness, power, magnetism, power. Yes, declarations. Bring it. Okay. So if you were watching yourself from the outside, what about you would be magnetizing for you? So this is where we're going to instill our own beliefs in ourselves. I want you to go watch yourself. I want you to go see yourself, how you're showing up in your day. Magnetism, yes. How you're showing up in your day, how you're speaking, how you're showing up in your business, how you're showing up online, how your stories are, how your lives are, your reels are, whatever you're doing in this world right now, go check yourself out. Go look. What would you be magnetized by about yourself? What are you responding back to yourself? You're like, yes, I like that. That's good. That pulls me in. I want to watch it again. I want to act like that again. I want to show up like that again. What is it? It is so simple again because you guys are responding. You're responding all the time, okay? When I watch my lives, I'm like, I would hire this girl, yes. Yes, and that's a thing. So that's what we want to amplify. That's what we're going to express more of. Because if you're attracted to your own magnetism, that means you believe in yourself. You believe. And we want to hype up the belief. We want to amplify the belief. Once you believe even more, once you see what you believe, right? This is helping your brain become very aware of what you're doing and giving you a tangible thing to work with. All of a sudden you're like, I'm gonna own that authentic piece of me even more because I like it. You're responding to what you like and you're running with it. Okay, so we're gonna go into breaking you guys down for a minute. So as mani-gens, you guys go really fast. And part of the mask that you wear is suppressing your desires and what lights you up because of the shame and the fear and the letting people down and the changing their mind again and being into something new now again and feeling like people aren't going to understand you, right? All of the masks you put on to be responsible, to be streamlined, to be do it one way, to niche down, to stay in a hobby for an extended period of time because you just bought the thing you need for the hobby and you're already over it, right? You have this shame around the speed that you're going, but guess what? You're meant to go fast. You're meant to go fast. You are meant to go fast. You are on the fast track. You are here to do things at a speed people cannot do and they can't catch up. They can't catch up. That's the speed. The speed is can't catch up. The speed is can't catch up, right? I can't relate. The speed is can't catch up. Okay. That is your speed. So the fact that you're putting on a mask right now to slow yourself down is literally killing your magnetism, right? We're bringing this all back to your magnetism and belief in yourself. You don't believe you can have your hands in 3 pots right now at the exact same time because somebody else doesn't believe it, because somebody said, well, you need to niche down. What are you doing having 3 aspects of your business? That's not going to work. And you're like, oh, okay, right? That's what happens. That's what happened. That's why you're there. That's why you're like, I just need to get this straight. You're literally pushing away every opportunity for the magnetism to create the momentum for you to just go faster, for the universe to be like, yes, this is my speed, and gift you all the things that you've desired, right, that you want. So that's what's happening. So as a leader, what are you lit up by? I want you to write them down. Write all of the things you're lit up by as a leader, because you need to believe in yourself, that you can take that powerfully and work with it, that you can play with it, that it can be part of your life. It can be part of your business if you want it to be. But when you're lit up as a leader, you are going to allow yourself to move at a speed that is so fast people won't understand. People will not get it. And that's the point, because they can't keep up. They won't get it. It's not about you slowing down, though. It's about you believing in yourself and trusting yourself. If you're going slow right now, I want you to go back to number 1. I want you to go back to where you're wearing the mask. And I guarantee your answer as to why you're going slow right now is because you haven't ripped off the masks that you need to rip off. That's exactly why. So MGs, that's for you. Okay. Can you talk about creating momentum when you're feeling more relaxed and slow-paced and want to create the momentum? Wait, are you a generator, though, Christina? I feel like you're a generator. Okay. My belief is me slowing down. Oh, you're an MG. Okay. Your belief is you slowing down. Okay, there we go. There we go. Yes. So next, I'm freaking out. This is so healing. So good. So which area this is for MGs again. Wait, MG, Christina, or G? So which areas are you fully embodied, but you fear is taking over? So fear is totally taking over. So again, slowing down. Slowing down is taking over. Speeding up, I'm scared to speed up. Okay, so Christina, this is different for generator. These are MG parts, okay? So for MGs, what areas are you fully embodied in, right? So you could be fully embodied. You're like, oh my gosh, I rock money. I rock manifestation. But the fear is taking over. So instead of pushing with that momentum and going super, super fast, you're like, but what if nobody signs up? But what if people don't get it? But what if? Where's fear taking over your speed right now? So for you guys, it's all about speed. And then how would it feel to lead with that? How would it feel to be the leader that's like, I love going fast. I love my momentum. I love being lit up about something, and I love moving with it. I love sharing with you guys what I love. I love it. I love to be seen in my joy. How would it feel to lead with what's actually making you happy right now? What's actually lighting you up? What is actually a full body yes? How would that feel to lead with that? So that's for you guys. Confidence. The fear is possibly being too much, so I rein it in a little. So I'm not being as bold as I could be with my messaging. Exactly. So you're wearing a mask right now, so you're not being authentic. So your magnetism is dipping. Rip it off. Magnetism goes up. It is the most freeing thing you could ever, ever, ever do. Ever. And it's effortless. It's client, paid. Your world will change, you guys, if you rip off the mask. I'm not even saying that because this is my program. Your world will change when you rip off the mask. I pinky swear it will happen. Okay, let's go to generators. So for generators, for many gens, it's your speed, right? Your superpower is your speed. Your speed is freaking so fast that people are like, I can't keep up. Okay, for generators, your superpower is that something is so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy that you're hiding it. You're like, that's too easy. I'm too good at that. You're too good at something. It's too easy. It's too simple. People aren't going to have impact through it. People aren't going to have transformations. You've already talked about it a lot. You've already been there, done that. It's too Easy. You're so embodied. You're so good at it. It's too easy. For generators, how your world is going to also blow up with ripping off the mask is that you're going to own your superpower. The thing that's so easy for you is the thing that is your money maker, that is going to change your life, the impact of people in your world. But you think it's too easy. You're looking for it to be difficult. You're looking for it to be harder. You're looking for people to not believe in you. You don't believe in you. You're like, I don't know. It just seems too easy. I shouldn't believe in that. Amplify it. Blow it up. Get loud with it. Get bold with it. So what is that superpower that you're like, that's too easy? That's too easy. Can't do that. Too simple. Too embodied. Too integrated. Too good at it. Too simple. Let's simplify your world and let's get your power and your confidence and your belief behind it gets to be this easy. It actually gets to be this easy. Generators, it gets to be this easy. But you have to let yourself push it out. So how are you hiding it? You have to get visible. You have to get seen. You have to get bold with it. You have to get authentic with it. And sharing my energy from that space. Oh, enjoying life and sharing my energy from that space. Push it out. Bold it up. Hype it up. Have more fun with it. Show it. Get visible. Bring it back into this is what I do. Rock it. If you can fearlessly, confidently be like belief behind you, right? The voice of belief. This is what I do and these are the results. This is my life and this is how easy it is and this is how effortless it is to make money and this is how I go on vacation and I play and have fun and oh my gosh, I'm a millionaire. That's the vibe. That's the vibe because it actually gets to be. But what fears do you have that are holding you back? How are you hiding it? You're literally just stopping yourself, right? The momentum is like for all MGs and Gs is like go down that hill and you're like, I'm just going to hold on. I'm just going to hold on and I'm not going to go down the hill. I'm just going to make it harder. I'm just going to take that way, the bumpy way, and they'll figure it out. Let's not do that. This is about collapsing time. We don't need to do that. Yes, so funny. I did a simple mindset video and I was like, this is so simple. It's so simple and it's so powerful. When I was journaling for homework, I realized that I would feel shame for things coming easy because I felt reward could only come after hard work, letting go of that. Yes, I'm ready for the ease-filled, grace-fueled life. That's it, right? And that's the conditioning. That's where somebody doesn't believe in you. This is where we have to go back to belief. What did people not believe in you? That it can't be easy. So you need to work harder. You need to study harder. You need to practice more. You need to stop obsessing about the thing and go find something that's more difficult for you to do. How many of generators have you heard that in your life? I was just talking to Carrie this morning and she was like, as a generator, I was told you're too obsessed with things. The obsession is a superpower. The obsession is the ease. You're so good at it, right? You're here to master it. Where in your life have you been like, you've been working on that for too long, better go change it up. And you're like, gosh, this is hard. I don't like doing this. You have been engraved to be taught and to express difficulty should come next. Ease can only be temporary. Enjoyment, pleasure, full on desire, temporary. We better go make that harder. Go dive into something that's not so enjoyable. Just because you're enjoying it too much, literally because you're enjoying it too much, right? Are there ways to figure out what our superpower is? No. So no, this is where you have to really experiment and you have to go in and play around and see what those things are. There will be a chain of events where once you figure it out, you'll go back in hindsight and be like, oh my gosh, I could see it so clearly because it was really linked through a whole bunch of things. But it may not be obvious until you keep playing and you open yourself up to really knowing what it is, or it's already too easy and you're just like, it's too easy. I don't know what it is. Ask your friends what they think your talents are. It probably comes easy. Yes, true. And we have to see your profile too and know all of those things. Because profile, if you're a 2-line, that's probably what's going on. So I find it easy to go deep and go to the shadow work, but I fear people don't want to do deep work and I will put them off. Okay, Maria, that's so not true, right? That's just a belief. That's a belief about what you think about people or what somebody has told you or why you shouldn't work in that field. It's not true at all. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of people that are deeply seeking it, right? You can go find healers. You can go find people that do that unsexy work, that deep healing work, that deep shadow work all over the place. Teal Swan, hundreds of thousands of followers, right? People are doing it. So that is not true. That's just your beliefs around you, your beliefs around your gifts, your beliefs around how you want to do it. You think you can't do it. It's not true, because I know tons. I could list 5 more people off if I go think about their names right now, but I can. I'm thinking about like, oh my gosh, there's tons of them. There's tons. So that's not true. That's just a belief. I think I'm on the right path for messaging. 22 on the call. Angel number 35. Okay, so you probably have that fear. I'm a 35. Okay. So that may come from either you need to experiment more. Leadership is going to be part of it, or you are really carrying around a lot of the failures and the fears of like going fully into it. But you're really here to like be pulling those lessons out of what you experience. Okay. Can you talk about getting hung up on things and stagnating? So my mind will get focused on my account growing, or views, or all the stuff that doesn't feel good, and then be expanding a lot. Yes. Service and joy instead of the results. Yes. No need to let that shit go. Okay. So this is huge, because this is actually my next part of the responding. So the funny thing about, so generators, how would that feel for you guys? So for everybody, what happens in your marketing is the majority of the world are many gens and gens. The others, projectors, reflectors, manifestors, are wondering how they do it and are seeking the fulfillment of sacral energy. So when you think about, oh gosh, well, what's going to create this? When you get stuck in the how, you break down your magnetism, you break down your flow, your momentum. When you actually focus on desire, and this is actually part of next week is sex, which is pleasure, but when you lead with the things that actually light you up, everybody else responds. So when you respond to something, think of the magnet, right? So think of a really strong magnet. That's what you are. So when you're a magnet and your magnetism starts to go out, because you're like, oh, I like that. I want that. I'm going here. My day is a vacation, or whatever it is, like whatever you're doing, the ring of magnetism around you gets bigger and stronger. What they see, your audience, is love that. They respond to it, right? They respond. So the more you trust yourself to lead from that place, the bigger the magnetism is, and the more natural people come into your world. But the thing is when you retract it, you're retracting it. So it's kind of like as a projector, so this is the best example. As a projector, I'd be drawn into your world, and then I'd be like, oh, that's kind of weird. Something feels off. And then you're living pure desire, pure bliss, pure momentum forward, big magnetism, like, ah. And then all of a sudden you shut it back down from fear and doubt or disbelief, right? Or like, how? And then I'm like, So you're playing ping pong with your audience energetically. What you want to do is you don't want to play ping pong with them. You want to constantly allow them to be responding. Because we're responding. I'm responding to you. You're putting out there, right? Your audience is responding, MGs and Gs. I'm absorbing, I'm reflecting, really. But when we think about it, we want to be putting things out where it's like boom, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. They're just like desire, how, want, yes, please, more, yes, love, ooh, yeah, ooh. That's how you want your audience to be feeling. Laced in with that is like, here's what I do. Want to join? Want to sign up? Or you go and go, and then all of a sudden you drop a program, right? So if your audience is feeling that desire base from you, that responding back to you, you are essentially allowing them to see your pure magnetism and giving them the opportunity to feel that too. When you play ping pong with them in your energetic field, it's retracting and it's less trust from your audience. So when you think about the bigger picture, although in the moment you get caught up in the how of the money and the account and the this and the that, but if you trust your process and keep going forward, all of a sudden you get there and you're like, how did that just happen? And you're like, I literally had the most fun in this month, the entire month. I just like literally lived in bliss and joy and fun. And these results happened. But you won't get those results if you don't live from desire based living. You won't, because it's misaligned. It's only aligned for you to get those results, to get more when you're living that momentum, big magnetism flow. Does that make sense? So my mind keeps telling me, why are you posting this? This makes no sense with your business. I find it hard to just follow desire. Okay, so that's the belief though, right? That's the belief. That's the belief that you have to do it a certain way, when really you don't. But that's where you have to build in the trust. So what scares you about trusting yourself? What scares you about trusting yourself? Well, it scares me that I could be right. It scares me that I hold potential that's so big. It scares me to go fast. It scares me to share these things. It scares me. It scares me to share these things because what if it doesn't happen? Well, what if you don't share those things and it still doesn't happen, right? Well, why wouldn't we want to live in desire and have the potential of incredible things happening? Or do the things that don't feel good with the potential of things not happening? The potential of things happening, when you're doing things that don't feel good, it can still happen and it won't feel good. On the other side, you could be living your best life and things happen, and you lived your best life and things happened. I don't know. What side do you want to take? I would be taking the side where no matter what, it feels good, right? No matter what, it feels good. When you can anchor in the belief in yourself, you're going to keep going. You're going to keep going and going and going and building more and more belief and trust in yourself and your process. The fact that you don't trust your process is the area where your how comes in. How is this going to work? How do I do this? How? And you literally take yourself off the path, and the universe can't respond to that, right? It can't provide you the things because you're there like, you're on the wrong street. You need to be on this street in order to get the thing. So then it takes you longer to get back there. So when we are talking about our magnetism, we're talking about really being on the path of belief, believing in yourself, moving with belief, trusting no matter what. No matter what, you trust yourself. If it feels good, trust yourself. If it's a hell yes, trust yourself. The rest is going to figure itself out. When it doesn't, because I'm sure some of you can think of these examples, right? When it doesn't, you're like, well, I trusted myself and that course didn't work. I trusted myself and I didn't make money back, because you didn't hold the trust. You held expectation. You held neediness, not belief in pure bliss and desire. It's hard to do that. And that's why we have to develop bigger beliefs outside of ourselves and heal the areas that didn't believe in ourselves, because we'll go back to that coding. Well, I told you so. Well, you're wasting your money. Well, you're spending your money on things that really don't get you anywhere. You're going to believe all that. You will believe it because that's what you've heard. Okay. Feels like a maxim meeting instead of being a cherry. Okay, so I sometimes question the messy mess of my process. Like, it should be more streamlined, but then it doesn't light me up. So the thing is that it's fun, right? The mess is fun, and this is what we have to be able to embrace. We have to be able to embrace the differentiation of each and every one of us. For me, it feels good to be streamlined. I will promise you there's a lot of mess in my world too. There's a lot of mess there too. It just happens. We have to be like, this is life. For you guys, the messiness is part of how you're designed to be, right? That's how you're designed to be. Alignment is all about trusting the authenticity of who we are. The authenticity of you is to create the mess and see what's in there. See the beautifulness. Pull it out for other people. Have them experience it. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself to be like, this is my process and this is where I'm getting. I've always been criticized for being messy, right? And this is, again, go back to like, wait, who didn't believe in my authenticity? This is my truth, and I feel shame about it. I feel embarrassed. I feel bad. Why? Oh, because somebody didn't believe in you, because somebody criticized you about it. I'm so messy. I'm like, oh. So my kids, my girls, are also, well, one is messier than the other, but the other is a tornado, right? So one is literally a tornado through things, like banging into things, right? Like just physically taking up a lot of space and movements. And it's like, well, that's her authentic expression, right? That's how she's getting her grounding. That's how she's grasping the energy in the room. That's how she's moving through life. But for most parents, it would be like, oh my gosh, Stop it. Collect your body. And that's obviously part of learning and physical awareness too, but we also have to look back and be like, oh my gosh, yeah, this was like over shamed for me. This is something that like I wasn't able to embrace about myself, and I just literally looked down on myself about it, or lost all my confidence in who I was because of that thing. I linked a title to that. I linked a title to me being less than because of that. And guess what? For most of you that are being like, I'm messy, your messiness my dad has tattoos that represent each of us, and mine is a tasmanian devil. Obviously. I love that you embraced it, because right there we go. I love that. Oh my gosh. So when we look at it though, we can also ask ourselves, does my mess work? Does my mess work, right? Does my mess work or no? Because if you're like, it actually stresses me out, my mess does not do anything for me. You know, the people that are like, it's an organized mess and I know where everything is. Or the people that are like, I can't function. This gives me anxiety. Giving you anxiety because it doesn't feel good, there's probably room to change. It's probably asking you to dive into something deeper, right? Can you talk about the art of attracting high-level clients without announcing you have spots? I don't usually announce, and it happened before, but would love to hear if it's just a vibe. Take off the mask. Yep. So it's all about holding the energy of belief in yourself. I believe I attract high-level clients at any time. Do you have space for it is one of them energetically. Are you holding space for it? Are you talking about your one-to-ones just in what you do? You don't even need to drop offers. Like today on my one-to-one call, we dove into this. Or I love coaching one-to-one clients. So you get to put it out so they can respond, right? If we're completely invisible by these things and people aren't aware, they don't have anything to respond back to be like, ooh, tell me about your one-to-ones, or do you have one-to-one spaces, right? So you want to make it aware. You want to be visible. Again, that visibility is huge. And then energetically checking in with yourself. Do I actually desire one-to-one clients? Do I have the energetic capacity and space for one-to-one clients? Am I being visible about one-to-one spaces and clients without necessarily being obvious and talking about it or dropping it? And am I allowing myself, what shame am I holding around that, right? Or like, where am I doubting myself? Do I believe in myself? Do I believe in my abilities to be an incredible mentor and coach to people? Do I believe, or do I need some belief work behind the scenes, right? Am I authentic? Am I showing up as me? Am I pure bliss? Am I living a life of desire, joy, bliss, all of the happiness? Am I? Pleasure? If I'm not, well, it's probably why I'm not attracting a one-to-one client. So it's about amplifying all of those out and really checking out all of those spaces. You're welcome. I'm both. I can find anything in my mess and chapstick. I'm looking for her behind the dresser. I watched one of the children knock it down 3 weeks ago, but never picked it up. But I feel much better when things look clean and organized. Yes, I get that too. I feel like I actually operate best in clean, clear energy. Mess gives me anxiety. I realized that in the past year or so, I would like to create a really simple, sleek system of operation. The room is inspiration. Yes, and that's the thing, right? So this is where we also have to tap into deeper individuality, where that's not going to resonate with everybody, right? Your sacral, your needs, your desires, your profiles, the rest of your chart, all of it also is very dependent on the depth of who you are. Can you speak about how we respond? I get confused about putting out offers if we're not responding. Can you speak about how we respond? I always get confused of how we can put out offers if we're not responding to direct requests. Okay, so here's the thing. So wait, I feel like you're an MG, Maria. Do generators mostly, how you said you give them something to respond? No, honestly, generators and projectors attract a lot of each other. Generators and MGs don't as much, but honestly, it's really energetic attraction. It's really that, like, there's no like, really, like, I don't know what the statistics are, you know? Okay. Okay. So the way generators are going to be working, they're going to be flowing with like ideas, downloads, move, sacral. Yes, go. The way that MGs are working with responding to things, generators are also going to want to survey their people, like really know what's going on, but they're going to have a lot of hits and downloads, and they're just going to move with those quicker, where MGs need to pull back for a second, right? Because they get a lot of ideas. Again, a lot of things going on for MGs, but the manifester in them wants to go and take it out to the races and make it happen. Remember, you move really fast. But in your audience, the way that you're supposed to be working with ideas, that doesn't always flow and work the best. So you guys, MGs, want to be very aware of the ideas that come in. You're going to write them down. You're going to put them in a place. You're going to, be aware of the ideas that come in. And then you're going to wait for another response. So you guys want 2 responses for yourself. You want the initial download, the initial idea, and then you want to be able to bring it back where a client's like, or an audience member is like, oh my gosh, have you ever done a program on money? And then you're like, right? You're like, that's on my list. I had that download yesterday, or a sign from the universe, right? All of a sudden you hear a song and it's like money, 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 right? And you're like, yes. So these signs are going to come, the second activation for you, the second response is going to come in multiple different forms. It could come from anywhere, anytime. You could literally like see it on the billboard or somebody else be talking about it, whatever it is, and you're going to respond again. You want to check in with the second response. So essentially what it is you're dipping your toe in the first time and then you're responding the second time, and you're like very certain that this is a full yes, because your fastness, although it moves so fast, not everything is meant to be picked up to be moved with, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, this is a great idea. I love it temporarily. Don't really want to do a program on it, right? And you want to provide the universe an opportunity for you to really be aware of what that is, to give you the answer back when it's supposed to be, you're supposed to move with it. Because you could be like, oh, I had that great idea about money, but right now it doesn't feel right. And somebody could bring it into your world and you're like, it's a sacral no right now, maybe in 3 months from now. So you want to play with things with a little bit of space so your manifestor doesn't take over. You need that double response time. And again, you can have ideas, write them down, wait for them to come back, or your audience can bring you ideas. Your people can bring you ideas, right? But you have to be able to respond to that and to play with it for a minute, to be like, I actually really do want to go do this. Because nothing carries more shame for you guys than being like, I started something and I hate it, and now I'm going to stop. So it basically prevents the resistance happening from going down that route for yourselves. Internal response, and not worry about whether or not there needs to be what we feel. Okay, so I heard that as a generator, we should only follow our own internal response and not worry whether or not there is a need for what. Yeah, so that's where you get the internal downloads. However, sometimes people are going to bring you stuff, right? So they could bring it and you're like, yes, this is a yes, and you go with it. So it's just, you guys don't have that double dip. You don't have the double response. So generators are going to have their own downloads, or they're going to have people bring them something and it's a hell yes and they run with it. They just go, they just have that cleanness. They don't need the double steps for them. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I think that is it for today, you guys. So the rest is for sharing in the group. What scares you about trusting yourself? What do you believe in yourself, and what is your belief in you that others get to feel? So that's what we want to amplify, right? The belief in you that others get to feel. That is the magic in your magnetism. Amy, would you say getting an idea and putting out a free workshop to test it? Yeah, as a first response, and then a great response from the workshop. Totally. Yes. That's an amazing idea, Crystal. When you say respond, you meant to downloads, yes, rather than responding to what people need. Exactly. It's not, you're not always just like, what do they need? You're going to have downloads, and then you're going to have opportunities where people do come in and they're like, have you ever thought about this? And then you're like, yes. So it goes both ways for the generators. And for MGs, you can have your own ideas too, right? We're not limited to like, only my ideas or only the audience's ideas. You get to have your own too. There's really no limitations. We just want to follow the proper formulas for ourselves. Thank you. Okay, so everything I believe is posted. Next week, we're diving into sex, baby, and pleasure and money. We have a double call next week. So Tuesday and Thursday. And let's see your magnetism. I want to be celebrating you guys too. So what has you post in the group, what you're shifting, what's happening in your world, where you feel more magnetic, what's happening in your celebration thread is amazing. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing yourself to go into this work and creating the shifts, because this is so much magic that is available for you inside each of you. Let's bust it out, go big, get magnetic, take those masks off, strip it down. Let's see your beautiful, authentic self and energy, and let us feel it. We love you. I love you. Have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you later. Hello, everyone. I